Hey, you beautiful soul. My name is Alana of Prosperity Alignment, and I am really feeling drawn to speak about a couple energies that have been transiting, will continue to transit, and really impact all of us humans on the planet. And let's be honest, anything that impacts us humans is gonna impact the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom, the mineral kingdom, and Mother Earth herself. So recognizing that we give ourselves a lot of merit in thinking we are the supreme beings, and I don't know, are we really? I feel like we're still infants in the grand scheme of life and learning. I love how my dog decided to come hang out with us as I'm starting to share this. So I look at the transits, you may say through astrology, that's more common. I actually use human design, and I do look through the lens of the gene keys as well. Human design gene keys, their variations still use similar astrology type information. We actually go deeper into the Chinese I Ching and look at the hexagrams. So more specifically, looking at energies and how they're impacting us, right? So they're out in the cosmos, and these macrocosmic energies really come into the microcosm of who we are. So we can look at fractals and recognize that if this is going on out there, it's going on in here. And if it's going on in here, it's going on out here on the planet. We've been doing a dance with hexagram 36, and really that's an energy that is all about darkening of the light in the I Ching. In human design terms, we really see this as an emotional energy. We know that it's a collective emotional wave, meaning we can be okay, happy, and then kind of plummet and feel disappointment, feel energies, especially we get triggered by the collective. So, politics is a great one that triggers all of us and can take us into this emotional space. So energetically within a hexagram, there can really be, let's just say in Gene Keys, we say there's a shadow, there's a gift, and there's a city. City being kind of like this guru mastery, higher level. So there's aspects to an energy. We're gonna be in some phase of that energy, and it's not like you're stuck in the shadow and you're always there, or you move up to this higher level, maybe the gift, and then you're always there. We tend to run, especially our emotions, in waves, right? So the wave is always going, it never stops. And yet the wave can be up, and then it can be down and up and further up or down. And especially if it's more like this plummet, and then it starts to come back up, and now we're plummeting. Where are you? Sometimes you dip back into a shadow before you can go back up into a gift, into really this higher frequency, right? So when I say shadow, I mean this lower frequency. When I say gift, I mean kind of this higher, you could say mid-range frequency, and city would be like the highest vibration. We can connect it and see it in terms of consciousness. So Dr. Hawkins creating the map of consciousness, we can see when we're really low vibration, which we've pretty much been on the planet, we're not even at 200, which is the level of courage. And we've got some frequencies that are going to be dipping in 2025, where maybe we've been in a pride state and we're going to be dipping down to an angry state. And that's supposed to happen maybe like in March. And again, this is from, there's a couple that will look at frequencies and kind of map out, and they're in Florida, Alejandro and Alana, and they will look at frequencies. So they've kind of mapped out that something's going to happen in March where we as a collective human race, we dip down to 150, which is the level of anger. You may think, oh, great, we're dipping down. But here's the thing, we're always up and down as humans with emotions. It's not such a bad thing as in our evolutionary journey, it's time for us to realize where there are things we're still holding on that are of low vibration stuck within our body and essentially stuck within our emotions, stuck within our mental, stuck within us in such a way that it's holding us back and we are not able to rise up because we need to release this. So I see it as a great thing. Further dipping into 100 in July. So what does that mean? I don't know. Is there something going to happen in July? Perhaps. And yet, if you already are aligning with yourself, trusting yourself, knowing your emotions, knowing your energies, knowing what triggers you, you can work with it. You can actually allow yourself to sit in such space, and maybe there is a fear that you didn't even realize was still stuck somewhere in the depths of you, physically, emotionally, mentally, and even hindering you spiritually. So we want to release these fears, and we're all going to have that opportunity. And what I found fascinating was when I was first looking at 2025 and the energies, knowing there's some of these changes to come, the gate 36, this hexagram 36, it already came in years ago. So if I look back, I know it was already doing a huge dance with Neptune. Neptune was already entering this gate 36. And when we're talking more in gene key terms, the lower shadow is turbulence, and the gift would be humanity, and the city, the highest vibration, is compassion. So Neptune, being this spiritual ruler, this spiritual planet to really awaken us and help us, entered this hexagram 36 exploration on March 6th of 2022. It was there solidly through April 10th of 2024. Now, I have a lot of clients that this impacted them in a big way, meaning maybe they weren't even emotionally defined in their human design chart. And this particular energy, this activation, really was allowing them to feel their emotions. And this is a channel that's connecting to the throat. And suddenly they had this ability to express themselves emotionally. Which again, emotions, it's based on how you feel. And sometimes you feel like talking and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like shouting and getting really angry. And sometimes you don't. So it's an energy that's been there. And we had quite a few pieces where the connecting and electromagnetic gate in the human design chart is the 35 off of the throat. So when the 35 and the 36 are transiting, or you have parts, or it's activating, you're creating this emotional channel that can be expressed from the throat. That's been a big one. And it's a big one in 2025. So we already had Neptune doing this dance. Neptune had gone retrograde, came back September 30th, 2024, and has been there and will be there until February 10th of 2025. So a big shift, a big energy with Neptune here. And that's just one planet, because in 2025, we already have the North Node that also entered this 36 hexagram on January 30th and is there till June 13th. Now, what struck me is, I don't look at astrology in the sense of, yes, this is Pisces and it's an emotional water sign and who knows where else it is in the chart. I just look specifically at what are these gate activations? What do they represent? How do they impact us energetically? This is impacting us emotionally. It really is part of our emotional human experience. And it's here in multiple positions, meaning multiple planets are coming into this energy. Our Mercury retrograde, the first one of the year, we're doing a dance going through the gate 36. And I'm just going to seed that The 25th hexagram is the other one that I'm really looking at, because when a planet moves from the 36, its next position is the 25, which is divine love or universal love. And ultimately, in the lower expression, it can be constriction, or in the gift, it's more this acceptance. Highest place, it's that divine universal love. So anytime we're moving out of the 36, we're going into the 25. Anytime there's a planet retrograding from the 25, we're going back into the 36. So there's a dance here. And North Node in the 36, North Node kind of moves it more retrograde. We were already in the 25 from December 4th of 24 to January 30th of 25. So that one's a little different, but we've got a Mercury retrograde in March, April, that has a dance between the 25 and the 36. We've got a Venus retrograde that ultimately is the end of March to the beginning of April. That is also in the 25 and the 36. We have Saturn, which is our planet of lessons, and it's there in the 36, March 16th through May 5th, and then comes back at the end of the year, September 24th of 25 until January 27 of 26. And then in between, it's doing its dance in the 25th hexagram. On top of that, I already mentioned Neptune. So Neptune, when it did leave for that short period in 24, it went into the 25th hexagram. So there's a lot here that I'm just sensing. We are in the last pieces of really experiencing as a race this darkening of the light. What does that mean? This is an experiential emotional energy. We need to have experiences. And the crazy part is sometimes, like in human design terms, we'll say that the 36 can bring chaos and crisis. And it's interesting because sometimes we as humans will create crisis to have drama and have experience and bring emotions and see what happens. Experiential energy, though, needs time to process. And we can become experienced junkies with this kind of energy, right? This is an energy that it likes adventure. It kind of likes the challenge of what's going to happen, pushing the human experience, pushing the emotions. This is where there really can be humans on the planet that kind of want to be the puppeteer, pull the strings, create some chaos just so they can sit back and be like, I wonder what's going to happen. And they want to watch it unfold because they're going to learn through the experience, whether they're in it or not, but it can still charge us, right? So think of times and people and conversations, especially if it is politics or something we shouldn't talk about. Somebody's getting charged. Somebody's getting triggered. And they are ultimately being sucked into something, even if it wasn't really their experience, right? So politics is such a great example because maybe you're not even anywhere near Washington, D.C., and yet you have a president and Congress and all these people doing things. And just the mention of what they're doing can get you riled up or upset or emotional in some way. I can't believe they're doing this. Never mind that the media may already be stirring it up or redirecting stories or telling stories in ways that it's not actually sharing the truth, but we're still going to be upset. So again, this is how we can get sucked in collectively into the human story, into the human drama, to really have you feel your emotions. Why are emotions important? Because they have wisdom and they help us, they really do, help us to feel what we still have work to do, but really in what direction are we moving and are we okay with it? And the reason we get triggered when we see things like politics, we don't like what they're doing. We're not okay with it. It really freaking pisses us off, right? Because Maybe you have people who are creating laws that have never been in a situation where they truly ever experience this heart-shattering event that this law could help, right? We have people who make shit up all the time and they've never experienced it. And maybe you have. You've been in it. You know the pain, you know the suffering, you know why this is important. Other people have no idea. But your experience is valuable. And sometimes in the 36, it's called darkening of the light because maybe we start to dim our light and we start to feel down or we really do plummet. And in the energy, sometimes we can't see it because that's how emotions work. You can't see it when you're in it. You have to have more time to process. Our emotions are very futuristic in the way of clarity, meaning you're not gonna have clarity right here in the now. Until you get really good at feeling your emotions and connecting with them and noticing where you are, and you can be very present, then you're able to really move through your emotions and get the clarity much faster. But for most of us, we're still learning. We're still playing. We're still even feeling the freaking feelings, right? We have learned to bury them, act like they don't exist, like there is not a dead body to find. But your emotions are part of you. You can't repress them or suppress them and let them depress you anymore. They have wisdom. So feel, right? Feel the emotions. And the thing is, when we're out of the 36, there's so much more clarity that really can come in. The light starts to come back in. The ability to process is there. It's always been there, but it's so important because if you have an experience and you just jump from one experience to the next, you become that experience junkie, right? Where you're just like off to the next adventure. But the beauty in the emotion is the process. You have to pause. You have to sit back and actually look at it and feel it and glean the wisdom that it has shared with you. So if we are moving, North Node is helping us to move into the direction of the 36. We are here to be in the human experience. We are here to be in the emotional journey. We are here to feel the emotions. We are here to let go of the darkness that has clouded our emotions so that the light can come in, the truth can come in, your beauty, your truth, your gifts, your awareness can help change humanity. Your power in your emotions. When you say, this isn't right, this isn't okay, you're going to take a stand for that. And you're going to learn along the way. Part of the emotional journey is we have to feel the emotions. They have such wisdom. They're helping you to see what works and what doesn't. Are you on the right path or not? Are you settling or are you really going for what you love? There's a lot here. And so honor that because yes, the North Node is helping us in this way. Mercury, it's going to help us in this first retrograde of the year to really look at our communication and our technology and our transportation. But we're going to be going through this to see what's working. And you may have things that show up that piss you off. Good. Feel your anger, right? Because again, anger is actually, it's such a catalyst. It can really fuel us to move consciousness and to let go and release whatever pockets of ourselves that we're not okay with, dormancy, stagnation, even the apathy and the fear and all these lower vibrations. We want to burn that up and let the anger burn it up because it suddenly is driving you forward. We look at anger as a bad thing. It really isn't. It can be a gift, especially when you're using it for good and when it's fueling you to take the action to do great, excellent, creative things for the world, for the collective, for your family, for yourself. what we don't know how to do because we're still infants in this way, in our race, but even individually. We don't know how to feel our feelings. We don't know how to process. So if I get angry, I'm going to lash out at you. That doesn't help anyone because you're going to get defensive. You're going to get all upset too. And then I'm going to be upset. And now we're just like in this shitstorm of all this flying anger. When really, if you knew how to hold the container or even recognize that, I don't know that she's really coming at me and yelling at me. I just wonder what's going on. That's the part that actually pairs with the 36. It's the gate 6 that is in the south node. It's where we want peace. We want diplomacy. We actually want to show up and be able to have the emotional energy guide us to peace. We just need to listen. But so often we already start feeling all those physical energies, our defense mechanisms go up. We immediately go into attack mode or defend mode, or, we're reacting in some way because we feel like we just take it personal. So I want to caution you on both sides. If you are the angry person, be mindful of how you're sharing your anger. And if you can have even just the honor of, yes, I'm going to feel my emotion, but I'm not going to do it here and I'm not going to do it with you, then take yourself out of the equation, right? Say to someone, look, I'm getting really upset. I need to take a break. I need to walk away. You can do that. And if you're on the other side and someone's getting angry, you don't immediately have to go into victim mode, or yes, it's really hard because if you've been yelled at so many times in your life, it's just going to naturally trigger you to go into either fight or flight or freeze, or, like getting big and wanting to get angry back and lash back. And it becomes more than just the emotion. It becomes actually our energy. And that's a whole other conversation. But recognizing yourself when you start to get triggered. Maybe there is a point even for you to be like, okay, I've let you be angry for a moment and now it's impacting me. I don't really want to be yelled at. So I'm going to take a break, right? That's what we can all do. And it's not that we're just slamming the phone down on somebody or shutting the door on somebody or just walking away. We can still say our piece. We can say, this isn't working. I need a break. And guess what? They might not hear you because they're still riled up or you're triggered, and then walk away. But there are ways for us to feel our anger and not necessarily just project it and spew it onto others like they have to take it. That's not fair. And sometimes when we have these really important pieces in our life that we want to take a stand for, we're angry. And it sometimes can be very hard to have a conversation with someone if I'm angry or you're angry, right? So allowing us to really be respectful and not taking it personal, wanting it to be a conversation that we can have together so we can explore it and see, maybe I just don't really understand. Maybe it is a misunderstanding. Maybe it's something I am doing that's pissing you off and I need to know this so that I can work on it. Or maybe you're jumping the gun and you're just really being pulled into something that you're not seeing in a certain way, or you are seeing in a certain way because it's been part of your own experience. The gift is for all of us to just take a step back and go, is there something here that I can do differently? Am I really seeing their point of view? Do I have to get this upset? So just know, anger is part of the game. It's okay. So the 25. The 25 is the heart. And in human design, it's connected to the identity center. And it's seeking the 51 to really open up this beautiful healing channel where the two heart chakra pieces that we see in human design, kind of the will center, ego, and the identity center connect. But it's divine love. And I really see that whatever is to happen this year, open your heart. Allow your heart to really expand. And again, the shadow is this constriction. So if our heart is constricted, guess what? Spirit, God, universe, source, they're bringing us some life lessons and big experiences to have so we can just start to open our heart even just a little bit more, right? And maybe become like the Grinch and our heart grows however many sizes, 3 sizes, 5 sizes, 10 sizes bigger. That we are expanding our heart to truly just love. So Neptune is doing that dance for us in 25 from February 10th of 25 through May 22nd of 2026. So this is a big one. So Neptune, our spiritual planet, still doing a dance in Pisces, but at some point it actually crosses into Aries. So knowing that we're here to open our heart. And again, the North Node had already been there. We've already experienced that, but when Mercury does its retrograde in the part of like March and April, we're gonna have the 25. It's part of the Venus retrograde. So our love and our values, that's happening in March. And then Saturn, May 5th through September 24th of 25, we're gonna have Saturn really kind of like bopping us over the head to help us learn our lessons. Like if you're still keeping your heart closed and you're still not seeing that there are other people and how can we unify and come from this place of universal love rather this division and this separation, stop, right? Saturn is telling us stop. And we may have experiences in those 4 months. And then guess what? We're going to be right back into the 36 from September 24th of 25 to January 27th of 26. And guess what? That means that in January 27th of 2026, we're right back in the heart energy of the 25. So in the I Ching, the 25 is called innocence. Love is innocent, and love is everything. And you are love. It's what you're made of. It's what you are. It's who you are. Love is the energy and the frequency of everything. And we as humans, again, thinking we're almighty and we're the supreme beings, we're infants in the grand scheme of the multiverse. There are beings who are so much more connected and able to create and do things energetically, intuitively, telepathically, because they've had so much time to work on their race and to fine tune it. And we're still infants. We're still learning, because the grand plan is ultimately for us to all find oneness and come together, unify in harmony, in love, in peace. We don't even know how to do that within ourselves. We don't even know how to do that within our families. We don't even know how to do that in our communities or in our workspace, let alone our counties and our states and our countries and our planet, right? Do you see, like, whew, there's some big work for us. And I say this because I want you to see the vision, and things can manifest in a snap, in a heartbeat. When our heart is open, oh my gosh, we can heal so much of that in a blip. We can heal the planet. We can heal ourselves. We can finally create world peace, because if I create world peace within me, I create peace within me, I'm already rippling that onto the planet. That is the fractal, right? And we just haven't found it. We're still focused on war and greed and power and loss and scarcity and lack. And we're not seeing the wholeness and the unification and the connection and collaboration. But we're starting to, right? And it's slow. And so as much as there may be vibrational consciousness frequencies that dip in 2025, they are allowing us the gift and the space to be able to rise up and to rise up with each other. And if I see you struggling, I'm going to pick you up. If you desire, if you're ready, let's do this together. And And there are people who are not going to want to do it together. And that's okay. We're all on our own journey. And the more that we can really open our heart, allow our emotions to be our guide, I feel like that's already a massive exploration and evolution for humanity, because we didn't always come from our emotions or our heart, right? It has been a full-on head game. And guess what? We are learning to allow ourselves to be centered, to be here in our heart, to love, to be love, to create love. And maybe that sounds still too far-fetched and out there. That's what I'm holding on to. I know that I've already, on my journey, had many emotional experiences to test me and also to show me where I still have work to do. Because I've had rage moments and I still find pockets of anger. And more I seek those, and I'm grateful for them, because if I can release all of that energy that has been stuck here like this, just holding on, tell me, how constricted am I? How constricted is my heart? It is not open. It is not accepting. It is not in innocence. It's not in purity. And so those moments when I get to release, I feel more at peace. I feel more spaciousness in myself, in my cells. And you can have that too. So allow yourself to be on the journey. And you may find there are people who are triggering you. And as much as we want to sometimes just cut them out and be like, oh, I can't deal with you. What are they showing you? How are they reflecting a part of yourself that you need to see, that you just couldn't see and you didn't want to see and you wanted to run from it and hide from it and then you wanted to blame them? Woo! Thank them. That's part of the processing. That's part of the experiential side of the emotions. It's in my anger and in my upset and everything that I want to lash out at them, when I can pause and go, wait, what are they showing me? What can I learn here from them, through them, about myself? Where am I projecting on them, or I feel like they're projecting on me? What in myself am I not seeing? What can I learn? It's a whole different view. There's so much to glean from it. And that's where the wisdom comes. That's why the emotions are gold. So having the courage to even have awareness around your emotions, that's huge. Just having awareness. Because now you get to start to change your response. And it's about responding rather than reacting. Normally when we get so upset, we're not even present. We just lash out. We get triggered. We react. But when you are more present and grounded, and all of a sudden you feel the anger and you notice the anger and you have the awareness that you're getting mad, now you can even start to go, whoa, I'm getting mad right now. Why am I getting mad? I don't know. But okay, I can feel it. I'm getting really mad. Take a breath. I'm going to release my grip. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. If that's an option, right? Or can you just sit in it? But you're already changing the pattern. You're already helping yourself. And now you go by yourself, or you get out of that situation, and now you can ponder and be more curious and innocent in like, what was that? Why was that? What is going on? And then maybe, boom, you have a memory that shows up. And you remember as a kid, your dad yelling at you, or your mom yelling at you, or this situation that unfolded, and that was your initial reaction. That already lodged into your brain, formed a neural pathway, and ever since, anything that feels remotely close to that situation, boom, that's how you react. But now that you see this, and there's other tools, there's other ways for us to start to go back, and whether we go to that child and we work with the child, or even you just working with it now and recognizing, what is it that I need in this situation? Where can I feel more safe? I see a lot through human design and gene keys to know, what is it you need physically? How do you emotionally react? What's your mental defenses? What's your core wound? Like, what's your greatest wound that you carry, and everything is really just going to keep poking that part of you because it's here to help you grow. Most of the time we don't see that. But these are the things we can start diving into and going deeper into so that you can have the awareness and then boom, you change the pattern. You respawn differently. You calm your body. You get present. You allow the emotions to show you. You allow your mental patterns to show whatever limitations you've held on to, old memories you've had. All of that starts to give you the pieces, the information, the truth within you. You already have the answers. The fact that you're courageous and bold enough to start looking, that's the magic. And the magic is you, and it's within you. So, 2025, we're here to explore our emotions. There's going to be some adventure. There's going to be some plummets. Feel it. Enjoy the ride for what it is. And with the 25, there's going to be some more opportunity for universal love to really come in and start to open and stretch your heart and expand your heart so that you are being you and bringing your love and sharing your love. And oh gosh, it sounds beautiful. It is beautiful. It's a journey, because when we want to open ourselves to more love, sometimes we need those tough situations where we don't always love. I love you. You've got this. Have a magical 2025.